Salut la team, aujourd'hui on est avec Aaron. Il va
Salut
nous
la
montrer
team.
son Supra MK5, une autre voiture mitigée. On a fait un L entre N, là, le Supra MK5, il y en a sûrement d'autres. Ah, c'est pas un Supra, c'est pas un Supra.
Aujourd'hui, ça va être un mix
Ouais.
entre anglais et français.
Ouais, parce que Aaron est plus confortable en anglais.
Anglais.
On va parler en français et anglais. On va mettre des sous-titres pour que tout
Ouais,
le monde
c'est
se
ça.
comprenne. Puis sinon, fait que Aaron, aujourd'hui on est sur un Supra 2023.
Yeah.
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 It's a 2023 manual Supra.
Ok. Puis couleur, c'est la couleur d'origine.
Yeah, original color.
Is it an option or?
Yeah, it's one of the options that you get. It's
C'est quoi le nom?
basically a Portimao blue from BMW. Toyota calls it Stratosphere blues. It's the same thing.
C'est le même bleu que BMW.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to have a picture of a blue Mark IV Supra above my bed.
Yeah.
But finding a good condition blue Mark IV Supra.
You got a Mark V instead.
Yeah, it's like shopping for hookers. You know, none of that. It's all beat to shit.
Yeah.
So I had an opportunity to get this one, so I did. Yeah.
Si c'est pas indiscret, à une voiture comme ça, d'origine, on parle de combien environ?
72,000. The Canadian ones don't really have options, so there's very little you could do other than get
as
a PPF.
is, and that's it.
Yeah, as is.
And you got it over MSRP or on like?
Yeah, I got it at the MSRP.
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
sure in Quebec if they charge over MSRP.
No,
unless
there's
they're
a
adding
law,
something.
They can't put it over MSRP. There's
Yeah.
a law.
Ah, ok, ils peuvent pas.
Hein?
Ils peuvent pas le.
Ben, je pense qu'il y a une loi par rapport à ça, mais le vendeur d'auto, il va sûrement trouver une manière de...
I heard that, and it's a good thing because in the US they were selling these like 20, 30,000
J'ai vu des
over
Corvettes
MSRP.
C8, justement, la Corvette sort 70 000, markup MSRP,
Yeah.
120 000.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous.
Bah avec même les derniers Tesla, c'est un Cybertruck
Ouais,
et
Tesla,
tout.
Cybertruck aussi.
C'est ça, il y avait genre des 100 000 de plus over MSRP et tout. Bah après ça c'est le marché, what are you gonna do?
Ouais, ben c'est ça.
C'est ça. it is what it
Sinon,
is.
extérieur, est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose qui a été fait?
Yeah, any
Body-wise.
static
Body-wise?
parts?
Non?
No, I mean from the outside, all you can see is that it has tires that are not stock. So these are Advan Neova 8009 tires. It's a 200 hardware endurance tire. So it's not like a drag tire, but it's like good if you want to do a combination of, let's say, roll racing and circuit.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's springs, dropping it a little bit. So it's an inch in the front, 28 in the back.
Spacers?
Did you
And
edit?
spacers.
Yeah, spaces on the
13
back.
in the front and 15 in the back. But the suspension is pretty good stock, so I didn't have to do too much.
Doesn't rub?
No, it doesn't rub at all. I mean, as soon as like when I put it on, before it settled, it would rub a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got it adjusted since then, the alignment.
Yeah. En arrière, non plus, pas de... C'est diffuseur d'origine.
Yeah. Everything is
OEM.
stock as a game. This little scratch I added to the car myself.
Oh. And I just want to know something. What's the difference between a basic one and a GR? Do you know what it
I don't
is,
know,
or?
to be honest. Like I know there was a 2-liter Supra at one point, the 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
And then there's the 3, which I would assume maybe is the GR, but
I
I'm not
guess.
whiz with Toyota. But the exhaust is modified, so that's maybe the only thing that looks different.
Oh, ok, so la ligne elle est changée.
Sleep a look of it.
Yeah, so this exhaust is valved.
Okay.
And I wanted the car to look stock but be much faster than stock. So the good thing about this is, you know, I don't piss off my neighbors. I can close the valve and it sounds stockish.
Yeah.
And then I could open it up and it's basically straight pipe.
You don't have issue with the cold start, or?
I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
So the car's unlocked. I
Okay.
can go over the mods if you want, but basically with anything newer than a 2020 Supra, 2021, and BMWs too, the ECU is locked and it's very difficult to unlock unless you have some serious resources. So there's a group in Europe that unlocks them, and the way it works is you take the ECU out, you ship it there, they unlock it, and they send it back with software. And with that software, I can play with things like I can turn off cold start, which I don't need because I don't have a catalytic converter. And it has something called a startup roar, which it makes it rev when it turns on. So I can turn that off too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the cold start, you don't need it because you don't have... people don't know that.
Yeah.
That the cold start literally is pour réchauffer le catalyseur.
That's it.
People
And
don't know it.
I don't have any catalytic converter to take care of, so
Yeah.
that's been off the car since
Oui,
almost a year ago.
ça c'est les roues d'origine.
Yeah. These are dirty wheels. A little bit of brake dust on
I
them.
think they are lightweights. They're not the stock. No, not the stock ones, but
They're not
the.
bad. They're, if I remember correctly, it's 19 pounds in the front and
Okay.
20 pounds in the rear. So this is 19
19,
by 10.
19 livres en avant, 20 livres en avant.
Yeah.
19 en avant, en arrière, 20 en avant.
Exactly. It's 19 by 10 rear, 19 by 9 front, and the tires are 285 and 265.
Okay. So we're on the staggered setup.
Yeah, the car comes with a staggered setup. It comes with 275 and 255. The handling is probably better with 275 and 255.
Yeah.
But I wanted a meteor look.
Okay. No, it looks good.
Ce que j'aime vraiment, c'est les lignes là en arrière.
Ouais, les lignes de la...
Ouais, the hips et tout. C'est vraiment
Si
quelque
t'avais
chose.
à faire un choix aujourd'hui between the Mark IV and the Mark V, which one would you take?
Like right now.
That's a good question. If it's a good condition, Mark IV, Targa left-hand
Yeah.
drive, any day.
Childhood car, eh?
Yeah, not because it's better. Like that's we could argue which car is better, 2JZ, B58. Just because I've been staring at that car since I was a kid, wanting
Yeah.
it. So there's that, and I would take it over this. But I love this,
Yeah.
and I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it is.
It's reliable?
It's over delivered. It's reliable. It's,
These have any common issues or?
I mean, the Gen 1 B58s did. These ones, there's nothing really that I could think of that goes wrong with them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something.
No, it's a solid engine.
Yeah.
It's a solid engine. I don't know why people keep hating on this car. And even on the B58.
Everybody says it's beneath the shell. It's a
what
Z4.
do you have to
but
say to people that
what
says
are
it's a
you gonna
BMW?
Happy.
That's the more
I
important
mean,
thing.
look at the way I see it is if they did what Nissan did and they just recycled a 370Z or an old car.
It's not gonna sell.
Exactly. And if you look at the Nissan Z, it came out and it under-delivered and it's not as good as it could have been. And this, I think, is better than what Toyota would have came up with on a
course.
budget without a platform.
Of course.
I'm not comparing it to the old 2JZ
But
Supra.
to me, it's a good partnership.
Yeah.
It's a good partnership. It's a partnership that people probably never thought we would see.
Yeah.
Toyota and BMW. It's like
it's-
the king of reliable and the king of unreliable. You know, it's like a mix of both worlds.
And it works somehow. And people, they don't realize how quick they are. They really improved the suspension
Mhm.
from 2020 to 2023.
Okay.
If you look at Car and Driver or Motor Trend or those magazines,
Yeah.
now the manual Supra 2023 is faster than the M2 that they had on the track
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
with
Okay.
manual transmission.
The
which is
new
nice.
one or the old gen?
The new gen and the old gen, I believe.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Depends on the track and the driver.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
of course.
for them to be even, to be near an M2, it's definitely improved because the 2020s originally were a handful. They had a little bit less power and much more likely to kill you than this one.
Engine-wise.
Engine-wise.
Yeah.
So
if you
We can
wanna pop
open the bay.
If you
or-
want to pop the hood.
Yeah, I can pop the hood.
Spill the sauce.
I guess I'll start with the exhaust and I'll work from there. So it has a catless downpipe.
Yeah.
It's a 5-inch catless downpipe.
Okay,
Not that
5
that's
pouces.
better than a 4.5. It's
Damn.
just basically a different sound. I wanted it to look kind of stock-ish from the top, but there's a big turbo hiding under there. It's a full frame, stock location. We're using the stock wastegate.
Okay.
So the car makes 580 at the wheels on pump gas and 700 wheel horsepower on E50. And the kit comes with the intake.
Oh,
and
it's
the
like a
charge pad.
bolt-on kit.
It's a bolt-on turbo kit, but it's the full frame, so it's hot
Okay.
side and cold side.
Nice.
And then there's a high-pressure fuel pump.
Okay.
I replaced the injectors with S58 injectors,
Okay.
primarily because there are aftermarket injectors, but the S58 injectors come with a full data set. So if you're with a tuner, it's easier to tune
Yeah.
this less time than tuning another set. So there's
What's
that.
the size of the turbo? If you know.
I don't know the exact size of the turbo, but right now the fastest time with this turbo is 8.9 at 155, and they make up to 950 at the wheels on full kill. This one I'm riding conservatively.
Yeah.
The idea is something I could beat on every single day and have it being reliable. So believe it or not, on E50 it's a conservative tune, but even if I wanted to right now, I can't go past that. It has a stock low pressure pump,
Okay.
which means I'm at a fuel wall.
Okay. So you're not maxed out really. You're just like
I've maxed out the stock fuel system.
the stock fuel system is max, but what I mean is the rest is you got still game you can play on.
Yeah, the turbo's on 28 psi.
Yeah.
And full kill it does 46, I think.
46.
Yeah.
It's
And
like a
on-
diesel truck. Boost power.
Yeah, it does a lot of boost, but you know,
46
above
PSI.
35, it becomes more and more likely that you pop the motor,
Yeah, of course.
especially with the torque it's making. So I pushed torque further up in the band, or rather my tuner did, because you know, make
Yeah,
full
because you don't
forward-
want like a low end, like comment dire tu veux
end
pas que ton
torque.
power band soit vraiment tout au début, puis là à la fin t'as plus rien. You want it like comme nous
That's it.
surtout sur le VAG, it's linéaire.
Mhm.
It's really the more you go, the more it's gonna go fast.
Yeah.
Because if you got everything now, the car is gonna run. Especially
so-
like this.
Full spool is 3,300 RPM, so
It's
if on an aggressive
it's early.
tune, it
It's
could
early.
put all the torque there, but then I could accidentally bend the rod, like floor it at that range and
Mhm.
damage something. So it's a conservative tune. I also have I mentioned the downpipe, the exhaust. So the ECU is unlocked and it has a flex fuel kit,
Okay.
and it's all controlled through the DME. So I use
Yeah.
MHD Plus,
Yeah.
and it gives me all my readouts, everything I need.
Avec le MHD, tu peux-tu, mettons, si mettons on a de l'éthanol, tu pourrais-tu switch ta map tout de suite à l'éthanol, mettre l'éthanol, that's it?
You could, if you
Yeah.
had multiple maps. I
Yeah.
have a flex fuel map, so it just adjusts to whatever fuel I have. And I rarely ever go all the way down to pump gas, because if I'm low on ethanol, I'll put gas in,
Yeah.
and it's going to get me like an E15, E20, E25
Yeah.
mix. So the advantage of having flex fuel is that with multi-maps, you're either 10% ethanol, 30 or 50, let's
Ouais,
say.
c'est ça, tu peux
Mhm.
jouer
There's
avec
this adjust.
Parce que
Exactly.
sinon, il faut tout le temps que tu roules, admettons, tu dis tu roules au E85, puis là, faut que ton blend ce soit 85.
Yeah.
No, it's pain in the ass. I
You
know
can break
people
something.
runs E and it's always, surtout au Québec, nous on n'a pas l'éthanol à la pompe. Quand tu as l'éthanol à la pompe, c'est différent. Mais là, quand il faut que tu fasses ton blend, il faut que tu ailles chercher ton baril, c'est pas user-friendly si on peut dire ça
Exactly.
comme
And also, you might lose track over time of how much ethanol you really have on the tank. Because if you have, let's say, E20 left over and you
Yeah.
put more, you think you have E50, you have E60,
ça. Yeah.
it's a problem. Yeah, so
Nice.
that's what's done.
Nice.
This, other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, I do have.
You kept it simple. Comment dire, tu l'as gardé simple malgré tout ce qui a été fait sur l'auto.
Ah, comme on dit,
Drop this.
OEM plus ça.
In case an opportunity to race pops up, I just stop by my friend's shop, fill
So
up
guys,
on ethanol.
si vous voyez cette Supra là,
C'est un slip. Voilà. On va rien dire. On va laisser.
There is
Nice.
something I forgot to mention. So the turbo has a T51R mod. So it whistles like the turbos people are used to hearing on the older Supras.
Oh.
yeah.
So that means when the valve is closed, you can't hear it too much, but when it's open, you hear it spooling from the back, from a distance, and from the front. So that
Nice.
kind of gives it away.
Okay, so now I want to go with them.
Nice,
Non,
nice.
je te laisserai. I'll pass for
Nice.
today.
Nice.
So, sinon,
intérieur. It seems a bit compact, but it's obviously it's a two-door, but it seems, I don't know, it seems really compact.
is.
T'as de l'air comme vraiment assis.
c'est un concon.
Ouais, c'est ça. I don't know, comment dire.
Tight. I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
I feel like anyone 5'10" and above, it starts to get uncomfortable. I actually forgot to mention something. So the clutch is done.
Yeah.
It's it's a CX1000, I think it's called. It's a 1000 series clutch master with aluminum flywheel, hydraulic release bearing, and I also have a bushing kit. So the clutch is capable of holding about 1,000 wheel horsepower. They claim up to 1,200. I haven't seen it yet, but
Es-tu red? Is it a stiff clutch?
it's not as stiff as you would think for a clutch like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you've driven old school JDM and you
Yeah.
had one of the big
Yeah,
clutches
it's
on
different.
those,
It's different.
it's like kicking in a wall. This is livable. There is a little bit of chatter, so it took me 2-3 months to really find the perfect
Feel
way to
it,
start
yeah.
normally on the street, because it was either
Like-
it was peeling off or it was stalling.
So
you know.
when you release, you feel a little bit of un peu de
stutter,
Yeah.
and it goes.
But it
now
can't
it's-
daily it.
Yeah, I can daily it, and I don't daily it. I mean,
Yeah.
I put on about 8,000, 9,000 kilometers a season.
Ok.
So that's from
Fait que toi, tu la roules de quoi, de mai à fin septembre, début octobre?
yeah, exactly. I put away end of October with this car.
Surtout avec la température ici, s'il fait froid, avec des pneus comme ça, you're done.
Yeah, you know, even I tried this weekend. I tried doing some pulls, and third gear is absolutely useless in
Yeah.
15 degrees. So if I floored and I'm on ethanol in third gear, I'm just you don't want to be racing next to me. I'm all over the road.
Yeah.
But even in fourth gear, it still has like a little bit of wobble on the highway when it's cold. So definitely not a car to drive in the cold unless you do some burnouts to get the tires hot and you manage to stick.
So it's a summer car.
It's a summer car.
It's a summer, yeah.
I mean, I guess it can be a winter car, but it won't do so well.
Actually, it's summer car for Canada.
Why for Canada? Yeah,
Yeah.
because in Canada we have a shitty winter.
But it definitely is a handful, so you have to be careful.
Sinon intérieur, you mind opening the door? Yeah, sure. That's nice.
Ouais, l'intérieur est nice.
Well, interior is your typical interior. You can have a little bit of coffee on the side.
It's fine. Well,
On peut dire qu'il l'utilise. C'est pas.
I feel like the windows are really tiny.
Yeah, so something I haven't been pulled over by a cop yet, but I'm kind of excited for that moment because if you're a cop and you have to talk to me when I'm in the car, I can make it really difficult and just sit like this.
Yeah,
So you have to bend all the way over
Et
just
en
to
plus,
get a
on peut
look
même
at
pas
me.
le voir.
Yeah.
That was quand on est reparti tantôt, j'ai remarqué ça, j'étais comme damn. C'est-tu lui qui est assis bas ou just the window that's
Yeah, it's
Small.
just tight like this, but it's a half-done build.
yeah.
Next year, it's going to be more cooling mods, the steering wheel, maybe the seats, and some diff braces to make the car less tail happy on the highway.
And when you bought the car, did you add any other choice than this car, or it was this car?
I had a deposit on an M2,
Okay.
and I had a deposit on a Nissan Z. I told myself if I'm going to get something, I want it to be manual, or else I wouldn't get a Supra if it was a manual. But then pictures of the M2 came out, and
The new one?
yeah, looks like a kind of like a generic BMW from GTA or something.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
can look
know.
good when you mod it. It's growing on me.
There is a lot of squares in that car.
There's a lot of squares. They only
Yeah,
had a
no,
ruler
no,
when
no.
they designed it.
Yeah.
But it's starting to grow on me. BMW.
Me
has
too, me too.
wizards in
Even
the
with
design
that
department.
blue baby-ish, you know the
Yeah.
color? I
Yeah,
love
baby
that
blue
car in
paint.
that car. Yeah.
It's a great car.
Yeah, I know.
And the Nissan Z turned out not to be such a great car. So
Yeah.
I ended up just keeping the deposit on this.
Yeah, I saw one last time in Princess Auto.
Ouais.
Yeah,
Non,
j'ai
c'est
pas trop aimé. J'ai pas
c'est
trop
pas une auto
aimé.
qui était réussie.
Elle a
je
perdu
trouve.
de son
Mais
âme.
moi, je l'ai vu la première fois que je l'ai vu, c'était au salon de l'auto.
Mhm.
Puis il y avait le capot ouvert. Puis comme je disais tantôt, tu sais, oui, c'est normal, dans un moteur, t'as des connecteurs, t'as des fils, puis tout, mais eux, ils ont juste. Il y avait des fils qui étaient pas dans une couette, puis c'était juste.
Yeah.
Tu sais, I don't know how much.
C'est genre
it's
cheap.
Like 70,000?
It's a little bit less than the Supra. I think it's like 58, but the Nismo is 80 or something. And even the Nismo is not as fast as a stock manual Supra.
Yeah. Non, Nissan, ils en ont perdu. They
Ouais,
lost a
c'est
lot
ça.
of.
Bah on peut
Of
remarquer
their
ça
name.
aussi avec la GTR R35 qui sont en train de tarder. Ça fait quoi? Ça fait depuis 2008.
Ouais, mais même la R35, ça fait combien de temps qu'il y a
Ouais,
il y a
la
pas de
R35, ça
refresh,
fait-
il y a
ça fait
rien,
2008.
c'est the same car
À chaque
over
fois,
and
il y a
over
une
and
édition
over, no?
new trim, last edition, édition carbone,
Ouais,
ta ta
c'est
ta
ça,
ta
So
ta
for
ta.
the Nissan guys who are going to be angry about this,
Yeah.
I had a Nissan 370 and I've had a bunch
Oh,
of
okay,
Maximas.
okay.
So this is friendly fire. And I'm saying it for a reason because when I got into the Nissan Z, it felt like a fat 370. It's
Mhm.
faster in a straight line, but it's like I'm sure if you do all the mods,
It's not nimble.
it
Ah,
no, it feels bigger. I'm sure if you do all the mods, it would be nice, but I just decided to go with the Supra instead.
Good choice.
yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Et je pense la base elle est modifiable.
Mais
Genre, il y
moi,
a-
de base, quand la MK5 est sortie, like it did, this car grew on me and I fucking love it now.
I love that since the first day. So, je me rappelle du prototype quand il est sorti, le premier prototype là. Pff, it was insane.
The prototype was insane. I think it's still nicer than what they came out with, but
C'est vrai.
it
c'est vrai.
rarely stays that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But if you're looking back at your car when you walk away, you know you got the right car.
Brakes is Brembo, right? Brembo calipers, looks like.
I'm not so sure, but I can tell
Brembo-ish.
you the brakes are not great.
No, it doesn't break.
It
For
breaks.
what it is, it doesn't break.
So the feeling isn't so good, and you could feel the brakes wearing quicker than you would expect them to.
Yeah.
So that's one downside I would say to the car. It's not like I'm nitpicking. Like if I have to choose something that I feel like is the weak link on this car, it would be the brakes. They look good,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not brakes of an M car, you know.
M cars are just the brakes on these cars.
Yeah, they get all the good stuff.
It's insane.
Yeah, I know. Even with the F80, they have a lot of
F80,
issues with their brakes.
Non,
Oh,
mais
yeah.
in general,
Yeah, the
en
M3.
général, les M viennent avec un freinage, c'est des étriers,
Modeste,
des
ouais.
freins. T'as
Ouais.
pas besoin de rien changer, c'est bon d'origine. T'as pas
Ouais,
besoin de-
mais les M3 F80, j'avais vu plusieurs reviews à propos
Ouais,
de ça.
peut-être
qui
M3
avaient-
F80.
Ouais,
oui.
c'est ça, elle avait des problèmes. Pas les céramiques, mais les normaux.
Mais tu sais, c'est les Allemands sont forts sur les autos d'origine, sur les freins, c'est juste Porsche.
Ouais, après Porsche, c'est
Those
not.
same cars need those big brakes now because they're like 3,800 pounds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they're big boys. They're heavier than Camaros. Whereas this is door jam. I think says 3340, but it weighed stock 3250.
32.
But it wasn't a full tank. So it's significantly lighter than some of the BMW alternatives. If you
Yeah.
want a B58 or an S58,
Is it lighter than the M240?
I think it's the lightest B58 platform.
This one?
Yeah. There's one in Europe that's a 1 Series. I don't know how heavy that is. Maybe it's lighter. I don't know.
M140.
M140.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's lighter.
I
But
like
this is
these
definitely
cars.
the
I
lightest.
love
one there.
those.
I like
I
this. You like
love
it?
A little
those.
hatch.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Basically same engine as this and just tiny
But they are
small
discontinued with the new ones.
package. Ouais, je pense qu'ils ont arrêté.
Ils ont arrêté,
2021,
ouais, ils ont
2022.
passé sur les séries 2.
It's like slightly bigger than a Golf.
It's a hot
I've
hatch.
seen one in real life. It's just it's the front end of the car. It's like a slant nose. It's really the front end is really le devant de l'auto est vraiment allongé puis le derrière is like
It's a good size for a sports car.
Yep.
Because they keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people talk
The
about
new
it.
M5.
Yeah, the new
Yeah,
M5.
no,
Crazy.
I'm
It's
fine
an
with
RV.
it.
It's not even a sports
crazy.
car
It's a
anymore. You
bus.
put the family in the back and you
It's
go on a
crazy.
trip.
It's crazy.
They should have a kitchen in it. It's really,
C'est quoi, 2500 kilos là? C'est
Ouais,
ça,
à peu
genre,
près,
c'est
ouais.
ça. Ouais.
C'est
Bah,
lourd,
elle est
tu
plus
sais,
lourde.
tu sais,
Elle est plus lourde qu'une Maybach.
Ouais.
Ouais.
Ben, ouais,
C'est ça,
ouais,
S580, elle est plus lourde
ouais.
qu'une Maybach S580.
It's massive.
Yeah.
F90 is definitely
The best.
Much
The
better.
CS, I
best
think is
M5.
the last best one.
Real M5.
yeah.
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 I have a friend with an F90, and whenever I see it moving, I'm always surprised by how well it moves for such a big car.
Yeah.
Because it's like 4,500 pounds, but I've seen him do some quick turns, and I was shocked. It's a really good car.
Yeah.
But this new one, I don't think they're going to be pulling off the
No.
same.
Bah, en plus, elle fait 0 à 100 moins que l'ancienne, moins que la
Ouais, le
F15.
0-100, il est quand
Ouais,
même.
le 0,
vite, ouais.
je crois, il est à 3,55,
Mais là, c'est
sachant que
comme une
non.
alternative moteur thermique puis moteur
Hybride.
hybride.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Nice. So, I guess we're gonna start the car. Yeah, do a
Yeah,
cold
we're
start.
gonna do cold start. T'en penses quoi, toi? Moi, j'ai entendu le bruit, il était...
Ouais. It's nuts.
Je te laisserai pour aujourd'hui.
Okay. Là, t'as le temps.
Parce que la dernière fois, j'ai essayé la N entre N.
Yeah, sure.
Normally it's off.
Okay, it says. Sounds good. Sounds insane.
It's only on 20% ethanol right now. But yeah, you can definitely smell the ethanol because it's a straight pipe. Oh, there's some breath. So I think was it an X-Pack? No. Straight? Straight, yeah. It's a 5 to 4.5 to 4 to 3.5 then to 2 joules.
Custom or it's Bulldog?
No, it's MBRP exhaust. MBRP, yeah. And downpipe is MAD, Masters of Arts and Design. MBRP usually make good. Yeah, it was a good price. I have a friend who works at one of the distributors, and he got me a good price. So I like it so far, no complaints. I find the titanium exhaust on B58 sound a little bit raspy.
Is it Joan? Joan on the Iowa?
Only if I go over 130. Yeah, if I go over 130, then with the valve closed, it starts to rattle. So then I have to open the valve. It's not okay, but I think the exhaust it pops sometimes, but when it's doing cold start, I don't know what it is with the car, but it won't do any type of pops or bangs. Yeah, so sorry to the BMW guys. I know you like that, pops and bangs. Won't do that right now.
Bon,
So, should go full.
for a
check
test
the
drive?
tool, Vite, see how the car feels. And, That's it.
Good.
On va vendre les deux. On va aller en acheter une.
C'est beau?
Malik est jaloux.
Fatigué, on va voir.
On est assis bas, hein?
Yeah, it's
Low
pretty
seated.
low, the seats.
Next time.
Next time. Au pire, je te laisserai conduire la M3.
Quel M3?
Ben la 46, ça gamme.
Ouais.
You good?
Yep.
I don't know this area. Maybe I'll put on Waze just in case there's cops.
Tu peux tourner ici. C'est rare qu'il y ait des polices ici.
Alex, fais-lui la même chose.
Ouais,
Sure.
faire le tour ici.
All right, I'll go around.
Jusqu'au feu rouge. Juste fais attention.
Oh, ouais. I like the shifter. It's
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And normally BMWs, it's a soft shifter, but
Yeah.
this one's pretty notchy.
yeah, turbo whistle is insane.
Yeah. I haven't heard it from the outside yet.
Yeah, it sounds insane.
We turn around after if you want to.
Yeah, sure,
Ralph?
sure.
I don't know if anyone wants to hear a quiet Supra in a video, but it can be pretty quiet. Even in third gear, like at the bottom of second, you still.
Mais tu l'entends que ça se poule vite.
Yeah. For a big turbo, it's not bad.
Yeah.
You know, for something that maxes out around 900, 950, you would expect it to spool a little bit later than it does.
Yep. It's not a grocery getter. That's sure.
No,
That's
it can't
one.
fit too many groceries.
Nope.
That's for sure. And I'm afraid of grocery store parking lots.
Yeah.
I've had so many bumped cars in parking lots. You'll see it's gonna step out a little bit if I do a
Phew! You can feel it in the rear. Nice.
Tires grip decently well.
Always in Mexico.
Yeah.
Always.
Mexican streets.
Yeah.
French street signs. It's
Yeah.
a new area of
Yeah.
Mexico.
I think you can turn sure right here. Nice. It doesn't skid too much. It actually holds the road.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That's more the tires, I think.
Yeah.
It'll definitely skid. Like I've skidded it
Yeah.
before, but these tires, if you go lapping and you want to have fun for a long time, endurance tires are definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
It's not going to make it a lap.
It's not
record.
gonna melt.
Yeah, it's not going to melt. Like, so there's a better tire than this in 200
Mhm.
from Yokohama. It's the AO52,
Okay.
and you notice it's better. It's definitely a faster tire, but after a few laps, it starts to get really greasy,
Yeah.
and you have to cool them down. But with
They
these
get
tires-
hot real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When they're hot, they don't really stick. But these tires, they're not as fast as those ones, but you could lap all day.
Nice. I don't know how you say it in English, but in French we say c'est pas tape-cul.
What does that mean?
It means like you know when the lower car and all you hear is it's bumpy.
Yeah.
It's not that bumpy.
No, it's not so bad on a smooth road.
No,
but
it's I wouldn't say it's a comfortable car, but for what it is, it's kind of comfortable, you know?
yeah, well, it's definitely more comfortable than an older Supra
Yeah,
or Skyline
of course.
or one of those.
Of course.
It's not as raw. Some people want it more raw than this. A lot of people complain that the sound deadening in this car is a little bit
Yeah,
too much.
yeah.
They want something more raw. But when you modify it, I find that it's like it's good enough. If you want, I could do a drive-by.
Yeah,
too.
sure. Hein?
C'était comment?
C'est pas à donner à tout le monde.
Pas donné à tout le monde?
Non, il va faire des trop petits.
Sérieux?
Well, I'm not gonna like go burn out or anything.
Non, don't worry.
Actually, I'm gonna go with him. I just wanna try.
Tiens, prends le téléphone. Ah non,
Non, vas-y, c'est toi.
Là, ça sent bon.
Insane.
Et puis, Malik?
Here's a whistle even a few streets over.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it from the other side here, man. The sound is crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully one day I'll hear it from the outside. I'm gonna get one of my friends to drive it soon, and I'll drive behind him just so I can hear what it's like. Because everyone tells me in samples that, like over the space of 5-10 minutes, they hear it whistling constantly. From the inside, I hear it, but not as much as from the outside. And like one of the things I don't like about this exhaust is the straight side is on the right, and the left side goes through a muffler.
So, okay.
So you hear more noise on the passenger side than you do on the driver's side.
MBRP sont bons là-dedans. Même sur les Golf, sur les Golfers, les Golf GTI,
Yeah.
il y a un side qui a un petit muffler, and
The other side that that's it, and it works. I've had cops pull up next to me so many times, not comment. One time I forgot the valve open and I was ripping down the street, and then I saw a cop pull the corner, but I don't think he saw me because he was like looking around. And then he pulls up behind the car and closes the valve, and I notice him. And he pulls up next to me. He's like, "No, a minute ago I thought the car was louder." I was like,
I don't know what you're talking
there's
about.
Somebody racing over
I don't
there.
know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And then he looked at the car. He said, "This is a nice car. What is this?"
It's a 4-cylinder.
So with my Evo, I was pulled over all the time, but I had like 2 muskets coming out the back. I had a giant exhaust. So cops love me, unfortunately.
Well,
Ooh.
it's part of the game.
Yeah.
When you have a car like this, it attracts cops. It's automatic.
That's it. You know what? I'll close
The valves?
the valve so you can hear it.
Right
Maybe?
now I have MHD because I
Lock it open.
So, ça ou un Z4? All day. All day. Ça ou une M2? Ouais. C'est
le
pourquoi?
petit garçon en moi qui
C'est
parle.
ça.
Ça reste une Supra, tu sais.
Mais j'aime le look.
Le look est...
J'aime comment elle est tracée, comment elle est taille, regarde.
Mais c'est vrai, il y a beaucoup de détails.
C'est ça, la voiture a été
Il y
travaillée.
des belles courbes sur la voiture.
Non, la voiture elle est insane. Mais t'avais raison, elle est vraiment basse. Genre,
Ouais, t'es assis bas.
ouais, t'es assis bas. Bah après je pense que le centre de gravité il est aussi bas, ça joue sur ça, so, c'est pour ça la voiture. Ouais.
Puis là-dessus, sway bar, stock is good.
it's good for now. Obviously, there could be some improvements. So next year, I'm going to make some suspension improvements, and but it doesn't need too much. It's pretty good stock. They made a lot of improvements almost every year of the Supra, from 2020 to 2021,
They did
to
it
2022, and then finally in 2023 they got it sorted out. So this was the year when everyone says like all you need is some springs, you don't need coilovers. It's pretty good. Coilovers would improve it, but I'm not good enough on a track to really
Yeah.
make use of coilovers and actually.
Probably gonna cost a lot of coilovers in this too.
They're expensive. I don't even know what they cost. 3,000-4,000, something like that.
Because moi j'ai pas le DCC. He has the DCC, and if you would have to put coilovers, he would have
Je
to
parlais
put
ça.
KW, and KW is like 40.
Yeah, super expensive.
Je parlais de ça avec Moni ce matin. Il m'envoyait tout le kit et tout, mais c'était pas pour AV.
Juste le kit pour delete. C'est mettons t'es là, tu vas dire tu vas mettre des coilovers sans, faut que tu mettes un kit pour le delete pour dire à l'ordinateur que t'as pas de DCC. Juste le kit, c'est juste un petit magnet, c'est 500$.
Wow. So
If it's expensive on a Golf, it's gonna be expensive on a Supra.
for sure. I mean, there's a version that integrates with the DME that's $12,000. I don't know too much about it,
Yeah.
but unless you're a track rat,
Yeah,
there's really
of
no
course,
need to
of
do it
course.
with this car. Yeah.
Where you want to go, Tremblant?
For a track,
Or
I mean, Sanair I like if I'm gonna go race in a straight line, but yeah, Tremblant. Who doesn't like Tremblant?
I never raced on Tremblant, but I've seen videos and I went just to look. And the track is nice.
Yeah.
It's
You
the
can
best
hear it.
track in Quebec. We don't have anything that's.
For sure. It has the most money in it. iCar's not bad. I know a lot of people go to iCar, like a lot of people in my group.
Abdel goes there.
Wow.
Abdel goes to iCar, yeah.
I want to go there. All I need to
I've
change.
seen videos of him at iCar. He's pretty good too.
Yeah, he's
Ouais,
a
mais
good
aussi,
driver.
ouais, j'avais
Yeah,
vu.
Driver,
Hein.
yeah. Even
So-
when he had his Corolla. On est encore à l'école. And he told me, I want to lower the Corolla. I'm like, bro, it's a Corolla, come on. He came with me, he came to me, he bought the whole coilover kit for his Corolla. We put it on the car.
Yeah.
Next day I saw him, he was at iCar, racing the car.
He's doing it right. He's learning on a slow car,
Yeah.
and now with this car, I think his car is mostly stock right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's tough.
So he's getting
Just
used to a
the
faster
exhaust,
car, but just
I
suspension
think.
and tires. So he's
The
definitely doing
best way to
everything
learn.
right.
The best
Yeah.
way to learn. Because
Absolutely.
people think, you're doing track, you gotta go fast. It's not about going fast. It's about where you gotta brake, where you gotta downshift, where you gotta accelerate, where you gotta turn.
Yeah.
People think just racing is just flipping a steering wheel.
Well, that's where you see the difference between fast drivers and fast cars. That's exactly where it happens.
C'est comme on parlait tantôt. I don't care if your car goes faster in a straight line. We're gonna go in the hills. It's gonna be a different story, you know.
Yeah. That's it. And I got these tires also because I like to go on the hills and go fast.
Yeah. So you decided to build a driver car, basically, with the driver.
Yeah,
class.
I wanted it to sound like an older Supra from a turbo perspective.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be fast in a straight line, quiet when I want it to be, so I could not piss off my neighbors and
Yeah.
cruise and do trips. But also something that's going to handle in the turns. And like the hardest part of putting this together was deciding on the tires.
Yeah. Because either you're going with a slick type of tire to go fast in straight lines.
That's it. Like it's a rabbit hole. There's so much
Yeah,
information.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if I needed an endurance 200. I thought if I get this, I'm not going to be able to go in a straight line because it won't grip. But if I get one that goes in a straight line, I'm going to crash my car.
No,
But
I
these
think
are
you
okay.
did a great job on this car. Honestly.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's not. I'm probably gonna get. Il y a probablement des gens qui vont me lancer des rushs, but it's not riced. Because I've seen a lot of Mark 5 Supras, and I'm like, fuck, bro, you got an 80 grand car and it looks like this. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. I think you did a perfect job on it.
Appreciate it.
Personnellement, je pensais qu'elle était stock. Hein. I thought it was stock.
Yeah.
La voiture qu'elle était stock. So,
Oh, yeah?
Even on his,
C'est un
sur
sleeper.
Instagram.
Moi, mais sur
Stock
Instagram, moi je pensais que c'était
Supra.
ouais, stock.
Slow ass.
Mais c'était écrit le ish.
Yeah, ish.
Ish,
Okay.
ouais, le petit ish. J'avais pas vu, mais bon, je pensais pas que c'était comme ça.
That was the objective, because also with the valve, because I noticed when the valve is open and like some people want to race and then they hear it whistle and they don't want to race anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they assume it's
a lot of
big
cars
turbo.
like this.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
when you hear the turbo, you know, okay, it's not stock turbo.
Yeah. Nice car.
Appreciate it.
So,
Well, I think that's about it.
mhm.
Fait que,
On remercie
merci à Aaron d'être venu.
Aaron.
Merci encore d'être
It was
venu.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting
Thanks,
me, man.
man.
It was great.
C'est différent. On voit, on step up à chaque fois un peu. Là, on a eu une
Supra.
L-N, le Supra MK5.
De vrai, c'est un autre un aussi.
Tantôt, il me parlait, il disait qu'il voulait, il magasinait pour ça quand il voulait acheter son daily. Il
Ok.
pensait, mais
Yeah, it's a good car.
No, it's
And I have the
really
Elantra
good,
right
good
now as
car.
a daily, but
Oh.
not the N, obviously.
You need to try the end. Did you try it or tried it or?
I haven't tried the N yet.
Yeah, you need to try it.
It'd
be nice to try an Asian
For
car.
what it is, it's solid.
Yeah.
La
It's front-wheel
G-
drive, but I'm sure it's a good one.
La direction, j'ai jamais vu un feedback.
Ouais, la direction est précise.
Oh, elle est vraiment. C'est pas qu'elle est précise, elle est lourde. C'est que ça sent pas électrique, ça sent que c'est hydraulique, ça sent que c'est genre les anciennes BM. Faut vraiment essayer. On sent déjà l'âme de BMW sur la Elantra 1. So- Yeah.
Oh, it did that?
Yeah, it was the boss of
You get
the.
in the car, the steering wheel, you got the N for N1 and 2, like in BMW,
M1, M2 in the M3,
Uh,
M4.
How you set your mode,
That's
your
it.
driving mode is basically the same. The seats look like buckets from BMW.
Yeah, that's sick.
So it's like it's
It's a mix between
it's a mix
between a GDM, a hot hatchback, a BMW.
It's a German car in a Korean body.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Got a German car and a Japanese body.
Yeah.
C'est ça, c'est littéralement le même
Yeah.
esprit, c'est ça.
Except this one is a BMW and they just put a top on it, cross-dresser.
Ouais,
BMW or not.
mais fiabilisé.
Yeah, no, I like it. And they hold their value really well.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I got the manual. I figured if I'm going to spend this much on a car, I want it to hold its value. So I feel like the manual ones are going to hold a lot better than the autos. And they
Yeah.
already hold
Mhm.
well.
Tous les derniers modèles qui sortent de manuel en ce moment, là, tu sais, dans les high-end cars ou sport cars, ça va tout garder sa valeur.
Parce qu'on est à un moment de la vie où, bah, dans le fond, on est en époque où on switch vers l'automatique plus. Même j'ai
les
vu
passionnés veulent pas
BMW,
d'automatique.
Porsche, je crois la 992, ça sera la dernière avec manuel. Donc les
BMW
prochaines.
just said no more manuals. I
Oh.
forget who it was, but one of the executives said they're not making other ones beyond
That sucks.
a certain point.
Yeah.
It's
Sin-
good if you
sin-
have one.
Huh?
It's good if you have one.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
have one, you're good, but if you
Yeah.
don't, I don't know what you
Sinon, est-ce que do you have in mind any other project after this one? Or?
Yeah. So this one, once I'm done with the cooling and stuff next summer, I might get into an Evo again.
Yeah.
An all-wheel drive, like I want an all-wheel drive
A
platform.
10 or a 9?
I want an 8 MR,
Okay.
but the transmission is not so good. So
Mm.
we'll see. I'm still undecided. I like the 10, even though it was fat and it's not the 4G63.
Uh-huh.
I like the look of the 10.
The 8 is just
Exactly.
it's the best one.
On my side, I used to love the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Evo 6.
Oh yeah, those are nice too.
Yeah, no. I saw one last time in marketplace. It was the gray one. It was like 40K or
They're
something else.
expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive.
The guy in
Yeah.
Laval with the Evo 6, 700 at the wheels, also fully gutted interior and everything.
Which color?
It's white. It's a beast.
Yeah.
You don't see too many of them.
Mhm.
'Cause
I would
knew a
love
guy-
a white one with the red details.
Wow.
on the side.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thanks again.
Thanks again, Aaron.
Appreciate it, guys. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Yep.
And
Ciao.
ciao la famille. Bye bye.